Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. Hopefully this will be the first of several videos documenting my build, my progress in this fairly large project I have planned. Not sure I could really call it planned. I'm making it up as I go along, but you know, I'm hoping that it will be really cool to have a before, a during, and an after video, so that's why I'm doing this first video. This is a SMP server run by a friend of mine. It's a server for just a few friends. It's not like a big public server or anything like that. Our server is basically starting over at this point. So far what happened is we each picked a land, and we were all hoping for various, things people wanted. Their gorgeous mountains or their large waterfalls or whatever, and I couldn't find one that was really nice. I didn't really like the landforms that we got with this map, and so I decided to pick actually a village. If we go outside, you can see that this village actually has a lot of problems. It's built on some really uneven land, and if we go over here, you can see that these steps are just sort of onto pits and stuff. Now that pit's probably not a good example, but as you can see here, this farm, the trail just goes down, and the farm actually is floating a little bit above the land. This is because I think the village generation tool was a little bit screwed up when it made this map, because I actually found a couple villages where, honestly, where one had like sheer drops outside the front doors of the buildings, and another town was actually had one building on top of another building. So that's pretty broken. I picked a relatively unbroken village, which of course got broken because creepers started showing up inside. And I'd come out and the creepers would blow up, and so I'd have a bunch of craters, and that's why there's a hole in that building. Actually, there's two holes in this particular building. There's some damage to the front, and there's the entire back is pretty much missing on this building. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so what I did was I took this village and I decided that I wanted to build like a castle or some kind of a manor house, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be, but I wanted to capture the villagers and make them my slaves. No, I wanted to capture these villagers so they didn't roam around, just off into the distance, never to be seen again. And I wanted to sort of confine them and build them into the building so that they can sort of mill around as residents or servants or whatever you might imagine them being. One of the other people on the server had an idea of trapping one inside a kitchen so that they can sort of look out through a little slot, behind a counter, and they can't get out into the rest of the house, and they're just sort of trapped in the kitchen. And I think that's actually probably a really funny and brilliant idea. So I built this wall around the village, and I'll go ahead and walk around it. It completely encloses the village, of course, now. And then I had to sort of herd all the villagers who had already wandered away back into the village. And I'll tell you, that's not easy. You push on a villager and they move for a little bit, but mostly they don't want to go. And they sort of wander to the side. It's kind of like pushing one of the dogs when they're seated, only not nearly as easy. I really wish there was a way to lure villagers. I feel like you should be able to hold a book out and be like, ooh, there's a book, like the animals make about the wheat. It's like, oh my god, that wheat, I need the wheat. So, but unfortunately there's no way to lure a villager that I'm aware of. Now, I did do a little bit of mining. It was kind of actually by accident. There was a mob spawner under the ground here. There's a dungeon, or there used to be a dungeon. And once I had killed the zombie hordes that were spawning, I decided to go ahead and pull out all the cobblestone, and then I did a little bit of extra mining. And I found a whole abandoned mine complex down there. so that'll be fun to explore later on. As you can see, all the farms have been disassembled. This is I actually took the wheat out of the farms because the villagers were trampling all over them and killing all the wheat, so I figured that. And I took the water out because I'm going to be removing these farms actually. This wood, I feel like these logs are just way too valuable to have sitting as logs when I could take them out and process them as planks, and there'd be so many more blocks as planks. Also, of course, I don't really want the farms here. This is going to be a building, and there will be farms, but they'll be underground farms with, you know, mechanized harvesting and things like that. So yeah. If we go over here, you can see that some of the villagers, I mean, like this building just got destroyed, but some of the doors were missing on the village, and that's why the villagers were wandering around when I got here. As you can see, there are still some villagers that are trapped inside their original homes. I did that because I really didn't want to have to wrangle any more of the villagers than I already had to. I think there's one in here, yep, and there's 2 more trapped over here. So I should have 9 villagers total in my village. They're all this same purple, brownish purple coat here. I'm not really sure what color that is. Is that puce? I don't know. But they're all this same color, and there aren't any ones with smocks or aprons or anything like that. So they're just monks, just the villagers. And if you actually look over to this side, there's a desert here. And about 100, maybe 200 blocks forward from here, 200 meters, whatever, there's actually another village, and that's why I picked this location, because it's got basically access to 2 villages. I may decide to try and move all the villagers one at a time from that village over to this one, just to add some more, you know, color and environment to the location here. You may hear this zombie noise. There's actually another zombie spawner underground down here, so there's like two dungeons right close to each other. Also in this area I've picked an area where there's like desert, and then there's this sort of high grass prairie stuff. There's also a forest over here. There's a lake in the forest. There's also a nice pit ravine. Really cool. I'll show you that over here. I mean, just look at this. There's a pig in there. Okay, there's a really nice ravine. And of course, here's a lake, which is now freezing over for no reason anyone can explain to me. Alright then. So there's a frozen lake, and there's a non-frozen lake right here. Okay. Moving on. There's also more prairie here, and then there's some there's another lake with, really desperate looking squids. In this area over here, there's some dark grassland. I'm not sure what that should be called. It's kind of like swamp, but there's no trees. I say that, and now looking at it, I'm not seeing it. So that might have been a bug that I was experiencing the other day, where the grass was dark green. And, yeah, I'm not seeing that anymore. There's more forest over here. In this area, and there's some mountains beyond. I feel like I've got a good location, even if it's not terribly interesting. My real goal was to find a village, and I definitely got one. Beyond that, there's not really much to show. I mean, there's some sheep nearby. There's some cows over in that forest over there. There's a few chickens, but I haven't captured any actual animals. I tried capturing some sheep, and then some creepers showed up and blew up the sheep. Yeah, this was all dark grass yesterday, so maybe that's something that's intermittent. Might be a server bug or something. We're still running the official, Minecraft 1.0 server, the built-in stock server. We will eventually be switching over to a server called Bucket or Craft Bucket. I'm not really familiar. Well, I'm still kind of new to Minecraft. But apparently it's not ready yet. Minecraft, like I said, just came out a couple days ago. and these are third-party programmers who haven't quite caught up. So, but that's been the case every time there's been an update. We go through a period where the creepers are a terrible thing, and then we go to Craft Bucket, and there's a mod that they put in to basically make the creepers still kill people but not destroy buildings. And that's not legit. I understand that's not legit. That's cheating. But you know, if you want to build something, having to fight off creepers and build something at the same time, it's a little difficult to do, especially when you're doing things with lava and creeper comes and blows it away. This is my, well, I'm thinking about it. This is my cobblestone generator here, and I'm going to go ahead and make a video detailing how this was made. I'll do that in creative mode. It's not a real uncommon design, but I've been wanting to make a video sort of detailing how I made it. Other than that, I mean, there's really nothing to show. There's creeper damage, there's a village, it's built on uneven land, it's, you know, it's got problems, I've got a wall. That's pretty much it, you know. Here's the death trap well that got blown up by a creeper. More farms over here. It's just, you know, it's a boring village. Nothing going on yet. I'm looking forward to doing some building today, and we'll see if I can get another video together later this evening or perhaps tomorrow, sort of detailing what I put together and how it's progressing. So far, it's a start. This is before. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to freeing the villagers once I've got a place to free them to, and honestly taking apart some of these great farm things for all this lumber that I don't have to mine out of forest and replant. That'll be fun. Cleaning up some of this water, you know, all that stuff. It's going to be great. And this video has been kind of holding me back because I had to sort of get this done before I did anything serious, and now it's done. So I'm excited about what's going on. So anyway, that's it. Until next time, have a good day, and yeah.